questions, I'll be glad to answer them. We've had a previous discussion with Mr. Katz as to each item, and we're prepared to move forward.
Gentlemen, are there any questions on any of the purchase orders?
Truck, I assume, is in
Yes,
the capital budget.
yes, that is for the purchase of a 2010 Ford Ranger for fire prevention. That is not coming out of the $800,000 that we put back into the general fund, and that was budgeted by fire prevention. I can also tell you that they had budgeted originally about $24,000 for that particular piece, but through the negotiations by Inspector Gholson, we will only be spending, I'll tell you exactly what it is, right there what it is. We'll be saving about $11,621.74. So we're going to get
So you said the prevention budget.
that's for the prevention budget, yes, not our capital budget for the fire department in entirety.
If I may, gentlemen, I would also like to add that Mr. Gholson further negotiated taking the lights and the equipment, such as the sirens, radio, and antenna, from the old vehicle to use on the new one. Those accessories were budgeted at $8,500. As it is, the add-ons are only going to cost us about $2,400, and I want to publicly thank Inspector Joe Gholson for his negotiating skills. Any other comments, thoughts, concerns? If not, I will move on to make the motions. I move to authorize issuance of a purchase order to the Delaware County EMS in the amount of $1,575 for all department paramedics ACLS training.
Second. Katz?
Yes.
Cassady, yes. Mr. Quigley?
Yes.
I move that we authorize issuance of a purchase order to Kalahari Resorts in the amount of $1,807 for hotel accommodations for the annual conference.
Second. Mr. Katz?
Yes.
Mr. Cassady, yes. Mr. Quigley?
Yes.
I move that we authorize issuance of a purchase order to Coughlin Ford, Inc. in the amount of $12,378.36 for a 2010 Ford Ranger for fire prevention.
Second. Mr. Katz?
Yes.
Cassady, yes. Mr. Quigley?
Yes.
And finally, I move that we authorize issuance of a purchase order to the Delaware County Bank in the amount of $750 for 6 attendees to the large animal emergency rescue training.
Second. Mr. Katz?
Yes.
Mr. Cassady, yes. Mr. Quigley?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Katz, if I may,
Absolutely, sir.
I wanted to let the trustees know that all of our fire trucks are equipped with automatic chain systems so that we can get into these cul-de-sacs and streets that haven't been recently plowed. So we do have a capability. Is it a guarantee that we'll get through all of them? Not a guarantee, but with the chains, it would almost guarantee that we'll get to any position. That is not only the large trucks, but also the medic vehicles as well. All right. Item 2, you may have noticed that the fire trucks are out and about. What they're doing is shoveling out all of the hydrants so that we can have access to those hydrants. Just because we can see the top of the hydrant, and we know that it's there, what we're doing is shoveling around and to the hydrant so it doesn't delay us to get our hoses connected to the hydrants. So the units are making sure, and we're digging out 1,000 plus hydrants so that we can make sure that we have access to those hydrants. And rarely do I blow my own horn, but over the last few years I've been a presenter at the International Association of Fire Chiefs on Fire Station Design. I just received a call from Fire Chief Magazine to be a presenter at the Fire Station Design Conference in Kansas City in April, but unfortunately I won't be able to attend because the turnaround time for the Ethics Commission to get a letter to us authorizing me to go will not materialize quick enough, so I'll have to turn that down. But I just want you to know that I had an opportunity to go to Kansas City.
Chief, how long does that letter take? I'm curious.
Mr. McCarthy can better tell you. It's a 2-month or 3-month turnaround.
Is this the same
Yep.
Gathering, chief?
No, different gathering. It's a whole new, it's a different gathering, so it'd take a lot more information to get back to them, but it's a fire chief, similar situation, but it would be,
Well, I think if we were, first of all, I think you're aware of the fact that the state cutbacks.
Yes.
Cutbacks in that office as well. I would say if you would want, you could take a look at the opinion that they issued and reaffirmed to you as to the summer trip, and see if all of those same criteria apply in this case. I mean, I would leave that up to you. In the end, it is up to you.
yes.
But in all likelihood, if we were to contact them, I think you're right, it would be a matter of maybe weeks, if
Yes.
not months, simply because of their backlog.
And with the trustees' permission, I'll go ahead and make that attempt, and provide them with that information, and we'll see if we can get a turnaround on it.
Can we,
The ethics commission.
Yeah.
Through the ethics commission, yes.
Is
You
there,
you haven't turned them down yet?
No, I haven't turned it down yet. No.
let me just say this publicly, I would love to see you go. I would love to see you go. And I would hate to think that it was only a turnaround of that was holding it up. Although I understand it's a necessary step.
And like Mr. McCarthy pointed out, their staff has been cut back, and they're dealing with a lot of other things other than, my requests.
I would suppose that there's nothing we can do to expedite that process.
Probably not.
How many times in the past have you requested their guidance on these types of
4
issues?
times.
4 times. And have they been pretty consistent?
Yes.
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 And have any of the details varied?
No, the details will be the same, but it's a different organization this time, so they'll have to look into that. As I
Well,
recall,
I think if you recall, where we're going to be discussing this.
well, I just found out myself.
Yeah, the principal issue they were concerned with was whether or not this entity was of a type that this township exercised any regulatory authority over,
No.
or maintained any relationship with.
Subscription to the
bank
bank.
or something of that sort. So I mean, if that is consistent with the other organization, if the nature of the fees and expenses being reimbursed, I think you could look at prior as guidance. I suspect if we were to contact their staff, and I would just add for the sake of the press, their staff has been excellent over the years
Yes.
at the Ethics Commission for this township to work with. That goes back to the 80s. I think their staff would probably indicate that you should examine closely and make a decision.
Sure.
I'll be happy to confirm that with a phone call, which I suspect we could get a turnaround there. But you're right, you're right, Chief. I don't think there's a realistic probability that they're going to be able to just shoot them out.
Right. So we'll, if you don't mind, I'll go forward.
Yes,
With the
please.
assistant, Mr. Carter, with the assistance of Mr. McCarthy. and see what we can do.
Yeah. Can we get consensus from the trustees to have the chief move forward, see if he could possibly get going to try to get a response from the Ethics Commission?
Yes, the Ohio.
Yes.
Well, we'll
Yes.
inquire as to their guidance, but we will not get a formal response, no.
But you will attempt to get their guidance?
Yes.
Okay, can we get consensus that the chief could move forward with that? Okay,
Yes.
let the record show the consensus was given.
Any questions?
I just want to state what you said about the fire hydrants, because it's pretty interesting. I saw that on the news the other night. There was another township on the news talking about that, how they don't have the time to go around and do that. I actually went to shovel my driveway this morning. I didn't think anything of it, and I'm getting mine.
Mhm.
But I'm wondering, is there anything we can do to maybe possibly put that in a newsletter, maybe to help you out? Because that is a lot of time to spend.
Well, what we can do is, I liked Mr.
Katz.
Cassady.
I'm not
Suggesting that we put it on
not
the
your liaison
website.
anymore.
That we put it on the website. That we put on the website that maybe that they could, that if you have a fire hydrant in front of your home, that you might take the time to shovel it for us.
So maybe something else to keep in mind in November for November newsletter, put that in there as well. Hopefully that'll help out.
Sure. Because we do check those hydrants twice a year. We check them in the fall, and now we'll check them this winter to make sure they're not frozen. And we check each and every one of them, 1,000 plus. I think it's 1,345 hydrants that the guys check.